Hey there, VC, and welcome to Vinyl Talk with Tavis. I'm Tavis, and today I want to share with you my gospel music collection in vinyl. I remember back in the 1980s when I started collecting vinyl, and listening to gospel music changed my life. I learned how to play the piano by listening to gospel music. I started playing in churches when I was a teenager, listening to all the latest gospel music at the time. I'm not really current with the new gospel music that's out these days, but I tell you what, I can still listen to the music of the past from the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s, and it still just gives me such a great feeling. And I want to share with you some of my latest finds from eBay, from stores here in Kansas City, just wonderful finds. This I just got. It's Witness. It's a 1990 album. I was just graduating high school at that time. The wonderful Lisa Page Brooks. This is just a wonderful album all the way around. Just imagine the music from 1990. And just awesome, awesome music. The songs include The Old Landmark, Learning to Love You, Telling You Once Again, Why Not? But my favorite song of all time on this is He'll Be There. Just listen to it on YouTube, you'll find it. But it's hard to find this album. And so when I found it, I got it quickly on eBay. So, Witness. My favorite gospel singer of all time is Andre Crouch. And this is, all of his albums to me are great, but I really do enjoy this one. The song We Need to Hear From You was written by his sister, and she makes that very clear. And it's just an awesome song, and the whole album is great. And this just is another great find for me. And I had it when I was a youngster, and I have it again, and I'm glad that I do. Edwin Hawkins, who passed away recently, this album was just awesome in my life at the time when I had it. I had it on cassette, I believe. I've never had it on vinyl. But this is the Edwin Hawkins Music and Arts Seminar Mass Choir, Have Mercy. And that title cut features his brother Walter. And it's just an awesome album as well. And isn't physical media just wonderful? You see the pictures, and they're big and bold, and this is a great album. If you're a gospel lover, you should have that. Oh, okay. I got this the other day. Vicki Winans, her first solo album, Be Encouraged. This album surely encourages you. This woman can show enough sing. Okay, she just lets it all hang out. And since then, she's had other great albums. But to me, like this first one, is just really awesome. The song You Turn Me, We Shall Behold Him. If you listen to that, it feels like you're actually beholding Jesus Christ. The woman can just blow. And I just love the pictures of her. She's so real. I love her immensely. I love Vicki Winans. She is the Patti LaBelle of gospel. I love her, and I love this record. Oh, my heavens. I love me some Tremaine Hawkins. Let me get it out of this wrap. When this album came out, in what year was this? It was in, was it 1984? 1986. When this record came out, there was so much controversy with this album because she just went all the way contemporary. From the first beat to the last note, it's just contemporary. It is so good, but back then it was like, oh no. She's going to the world. But songs on here are like Fall Down, In the Morning Time, Child of the King, With All My Heart, How I Got Over, The search is over. Everybody ought to know. I know him. One great album right here. I love Tremaine Hawkins. Mwah. Do you know who this is? Do you know who this is? This is Denise Williams. This is her first solo album for gospel music. She had done gospel music on some previous records of hers, but this was totally gospel all the way through. So glad I know. What a great album this is. It is an uplifting album. Look at the back. First of all, she looks awesome on here. And the duet that she does with Sandi Patty, which is They Say. She does the song They Say. She had done that previously with Philip Bailey, but when she did it here with Sandi Patty, oh my God, their voices melded together so wonderfully. And when it came out, people were so excited. And I think she won a Grammy with this, if I'm not mistaken. I think the song They Say won a Grammy. I didn't do my research. I'm just showing you what I have, and I'm so excited. I love gospel music. Another Andre Crouch find. I found this in a store here in Kansas City, and I'll take it out of its package here. To me, I think this is probably his most contemporary sounding gospel record ever. The songs include Waiting for the Sun, Don't Give Up, I Can't Keep It to Myself, Hollywood Scene. I mean, that's really something. Listen to his great lyrics. Handwriting on the Wall, that's pure funk. That's a funky sounding track right there. Save the People is my favorite. But this is a wonderful album. Let's see the back. I miss Andre Crouch. He passed away in January of 2015, and he was and still remains my favorite gospel album, my favorite gospel artist of all time. And I have lots of records of his, and you'll see me show them here. I love me some Amy Grant. Now, back in the day, this was another controversial album. Love of Another Kind, Find a Way, Love will Find a Way, Everywhere I Go, I Love You, Stepping in Your Shoes. This was a controversial record, amazingly enough, but I love it. It's very inspiring to me. I love me some Amy Grant. This was an album done in 1985. And when it came out, I fell in love with Amy Grant. I fell in love with her. I thought she was awesome. I think she still is. Every gospel lover should have a Clark Sisters album in their collection. Now, if you don't have a Clark Sisters record, and if you're a gospel lover, where have you been? Living under a rock? Do you know how wonderful these ladies are? How great they can sing? People have compared them to the Winans, the female version of the Winans. And if you're a gospel music lover, a black gospel music lover, Witness is considered the female version of the gospel group Commission. I guess that's a whole nother story. But these lovely ladies, Dorinda, Karen, Twinkie, and Jackie, the Clark Sisters. This album, Heart and Soul, features the fantastic music. He'll Turn Your Scars into Stars. Jesus is a Love Song. Smile, God Loves You. Pray for the USA. Time Out. The Greatest Glory. There is a Bomb in Gilead. That song was such a jam and still is a jam. And Karen redid it on her first solo project. I've Got an Angel and I Am Blessed. This is a great album. They really came alive on this. Yes. On Rejoice Records. Can you see that? Let me get it right. I know I shouldn't be touching it, but that's the way it is. James Cleveland, Reverend James Cleveland, and the Northern and Southern California choirs of the GMWA. Breathe on Me. This is a double LP, and I tell you, this album is, you go to church. If you have not been to church, let's say you're wanting to have some church, just put this on because it's live and you feel like you're in church. And the first cut, Breathe on Me, is just such an inspiring song, and it features the late Daryl Coley, the Reverend Daryl Coley. All these songs on here are great. I was so glad to get this on vinyl. When I was a boy, I had it on cassette, and now I have it on vinyl. I'm happy. You know who this is? This is Al Green, Trusting God. What more can you say? Al Green. You can't get any better than him. The Reverend Al Green. This is a wonderful album. Back in the 80s. It starts off with Don't It Make You Want to Go Home. He does Up the Ladder to the Roof. Ain't No Mountain High Enough. He kind of goes into some contemporary songs and makes them gospel. But my favorite on here is probably No Not One. And I also like the song Never Met Nobody Like You. Never met nobody like you. This is a great, great, great gospel album. Okay, this is my favorite gospel album of all time, everybody. This is my favorite gospel album of all time. I finally said it. Andre Crouch, No Time to Lose. When I first heard this, and I bought it on vinyl back in the day in 1984. When I bought this, I cried so many times listening to this album. I learned how to play specific chords listening to this album. The first song, Got Me Some Angels, completely changed me. It changed my life. This album. Here are the singers on the back. You see the lovely Tata Vega, who did the voice of Celie in The Color Purple. She did the singing vocals, and I think it was because of this record, and she did Oh It Is Jesus on here. I think maybe that's why she was considered to be the voice for Celie, because I tell you, she really sings Oh It Is Jesus on this record. This is an awesome, awesome album, and it's my favorite gospel album of Andre. My favorite gospel album, period. I just love it. I love it. This album, Totally Committed by Howard Smith, who stems from the Andre Crouch Singers. This is a great album as well. It was done in the 80s, and it features my favorite song on here called Perfect Love. He does some scatting. It was the first time I had heard scatting in gospel music. He does a little shoo-da-up-up-up-up, and it's a jazzy, upbeat gospel song, and just an awesome, awesome album. The back is just, simple. Just shows the titles of the songs. Great album. I'm going to speed up here. Love Alive 3. Woo! Walter Hawkins and Love Alive 3. I have Love Alive 1 and 2. I'm sorry, I'm going to be getting that. That's what I meant. But Love Alive 3. My favorite of all time song on here, There's a War Going On, featuring Lynette Hawkins Stevens. Awesome gospel album. You should have this in your collection. Another James Cleveland album. This is James Cleveland and the Los Angeles Gospel Messengers. I'm giving my life up to you. I love this record. I first heard it a long time ago as a boy. I have an aunt who collected vinyl back in the day, and she had this, and I would go to her house and just beg her to let me listen to it and borrow it. And I'd record it on a cassette and just listen to it over and over and over and over. Just a great album to have. All of these are awesome. Remember that Reverend Hawkins album I showed you earlier? Well, she came out with this one after that. This was even more contemporary. And it was even much more controversy surrounding this record. Freedom. The Jacksons produced some of the material on here. I think they produced Freedom. They produced Power. But I love every song on here. I just loved contemporary gospel music back in the day. Freedom, The Rock, I Belong to You, Love is Blind, Daniel, You and Only You, Just in the Nick of Time, and Power. Reverend Hawkins, back in the 80s. 1987 to be exact. A great, great, great album. You know, I love the Winans, but I never could understand the purpose of this cover. And if you know what this means, I don't know what it looks like. A fish. But their Decisions album, which features the song Ain't No Need to Worry, featuring Anita Baker. Anita Baker, everybody. ASMR. Anita Baker is singing on this album. It was, and still is, an awesome song. Ain't no need to worry what the night is gonna bring. Well, you know, it'll be all over in the morning. Oh, I tell you, this is a great, 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 great record. Great, great record. Love me some Winans. Oh my God, the Richard Smallwood Singers, fantastic record. It's just called the Richard Smallwood Singers. And it features the song that Whitney Houston did on the Preacher's Wife soundtrack. She did I Love the Lord. The original song is on here. Richard Smallwood is an absolute, complete genius gospel music songwriter. And I'm so glad to call him a Facebook friend of mine. We've chatted. We've had messages sent back and forth about how he made his music. But this is a great album. Just great, great singing. He adds a little, I wouldn't say a little, he adds classical music nuances to his music. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful record. And this is another Richard Smallwood album. And this is called Textures. And this is another great album by them. And the song We Can't Go On This Way, The Center of My Joy. Jesus, you're the center of my joy. Great, great album. I don't think that my particular copy is not as good as it could be. I want to get a better version, so I'll be on the lookout. I have two more. This is Another Day by Andre Crouch. It just has that 70s look, doesn't it? I mean, I just love him so much. He had great artwork on his albums. It's a gatefold. It opens up. Looks like he's just having a good time by the ocean and the palm trees. And the song Perfect Peace. My Peace I Leave With You. This is Another Day. Quiet Times. And the very, very classic Soon and Very Soon. We Expect You. You Gave to Me All That I Have. The Choice and the Polynesian Praise Song. This is a classic. Every gospel music collector should have this. It just seems to me. And my last one is another Andre Crouch. He's such a favorite of mine. He's my all-time favorite gospel songwriter and singer. I'll Be Thinking of You. That song features Crystal Murden. That's a great, great album. I mean, this is a great, great album. And that song is really contemporary. You know, it's just, many people were like, is that a gospel song? But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a great, great has a great lyric, and this album also features Philip Bailey singing I've Got the Best. He has a song on here called Touch Me, Looking for You, Bringing Back the Sunshine, Jesus is Lord. I mean, that was a bomb back in the day. He has a love medley, which features There's No Hatred, Let the Same Spirit, and he ends it with Dreaming. And this is a great, great album. So I'm looking for some more gospel albums, especially by Vanessa Bell Armstrong and Shirley Caesar. So I'm bringing back all the albums that I had as a boy, and I'm so glad to have shared with what I have so far with all of you. Look for some more videos. I hope you enjoyed this. Please like and subscribe, and talk to you later. Bye-bye.